This short video walks us through the CIS Cost Savings Calculator. It highlights some of the areas where the built-in automation features of CIS will save you time and money. So let's just jump right in. The first tab is the input form. It's broken down into several sections that we'll look at individually. The first one is management meetings. So how many management meetings does your company have every week? But for sake of this demonstration, we'll just say there's one major review meeting every week. Some management meetings can last all afternoon, but in this case, we'll use 2 hours as our baseline, and there are 5 attendees. Now, the next question, the hourly rate for those attendees, you may not know, but there is a way to get us into the ballpark. To do that is to use the meeting cost calculator tab. So we're looking for 5 attendees. The first attendee is the president of the company. So for argument's sake, I'm not sure what their salary is, but it'll be about $200,000 a year. With this one, there's a vice president. These can be put in anywhere. The sales guys are in there, vice president of sales, typically vice president of sales, vice president of manufacturing. And you can get the real numbers or a ballpark number from HR, and I'm looking for 5 people, so 2 more. So this gives us 5 people with an average hourly rate of $80 an hour. So we'll come over here, and the average hourly rate is $80 an hour. How much time is spent reviewing action items from previous meetings to ensure that they're completed? This varies company to company to company. Sometimes management meetings can be almost 100% review. In this case, we'll use 40% of that meeting as an average time. And the last question is the time it takes to prepare the agenda and send it out to those 5 attendees. So in this case, 15 minutes. The second section is other meetings, very similar to the management meetings, except for the hourly rate. So there are more other meetings than management meetings. It could be health and safety meetings, production planning meetings, engineering planning meetings at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week. For argument's sake, we'll use 9 meetings a week. Let's make it 10. They last an hour. They're a little more structured, about 4 attendees. And these attendees, let's get their rate. I don't know if that 41 is reasonable or not. On this spreadsheet, you can just highlight and delete and start over. So in this case, we've got manager at that level. I'm just going to put a couple in here. So 5 people. Oh, it was only 4 people. So let's just go back and do that. I'll just get rid of this one. And lo and behold, 4 people, $41 an hour. These meetings tend to be more review and bringing people up to speed as to what happened yesterday. So again, I'll move that percentage up to about 60% of these meetings are spent doing a review. The agenda for these meetings takes about 10 minutes. So let's move on to internal audits. In this company, we do about 2 audits a month internally. Preparing for these audits takes a little bit longer because we have to grab the right process and procedures and the right documentation and compile all that together. How many internal audit review meetings do we have each month? Well, in this company, we combine them, let's say, so there's about 6 a year, which works out to about half an audit a month. They take about an hour and a half, 5 attendees going through the same process. With less senior management at these meetings, it's about $36 an hour, but these are basically review meetings of audits, so the percentage time of going through those reviews is about 80%. This next section on inspections is really to grab the labor rate of the person doing the inspections and typically filling out the nonconformity reports or a customer feedback report. So in this case, let's say that person earns about $40,000 a year, and that works out to $25 an hour. And that's the $25 an hour we see there. How many nonconformities do you have at your company? Some people have quite a few. Let's say our processes are pretty stable, so we have perhaps one a month. It takes about 30 minutes to prepare that report. Customer feedback, input from our clients, we get about 40 a month, and just to initiate that process takes about 3 minutes. We have an automated form to do that, let's say. Near miss coming from or leading into rather a health and safety meeting, one a month. A little more complicated because they tend to be not a standard process, but something you're trying to describe. So let's say it takes about 45 minutes, and we're being very generous here. Often it could take an hour and a half. Corrective actions. Not every nonconformity, of course, requires a corrective action, but based on customer feedbacks, let's say we're doing about one a month, and again, they're a little bit more involved, so the corrective action request takes about 45 minutes to compile. This next section is on reporting, the number of reports you have and the time it takes to prepare those. The number I'm looking for is really the total reports produced each month. These are typical of the reports that CIS produces, but you may have other reports you're putting together, so those numbers would just go in here. So modifying this to 5 would give us 19, and let's say we have 20 a month. Those are internal reports. External reports, same question. How many reports are we doing? And these are reports that suppliers would be asking for, or customers, auditors, could be incoming inspection, inventory reports, you name it. We put together, in this instance, let's use 15 reports a month, and it takes about 15 minutes to do those. The last section is on training and documentation. Training, so with let's say 50 or 60 employees a year, just with recertifications, safety training, people moving jobs and having to be retrained. We have about 130 trainings that have to be planned each year. And it takes about 20 minutes to get those planned, to advise the trainer and the trainee and set up the calendars so everybody's matching. And once the training is completed, it takes about 10 minutes going into each individual's file to update their employee records. Document management, it takes about 5 hours a month. I'm not asking for how long it takes to revise documents, but how long it takes to manage the documents. So making sure procedures, work forms, instructions are up to date, and recording the distributions and things like that. So it takes about 5 hours a month in this example, and we have, let's say, one work instruction or one form that is completed every month. So that said, we can jump right over to the cost savings report and see that CIS will save a little under $116,000 a year. And that is broken down into following up on action items for meetings, prep time, internal reports, and external reports. If you want to see the details of that, just simply scroll right up. It's all here. First section outlines the actual costs that we're spending right now before CIS. $41,000, almost $42,000 in management meetings every year, $85,000 in other meetings. Audits are costing about $7,000, and the planning for audits about $6,000. So all told, that adds up to about $130,000. Of that, because we can save time reviewing action items in management meetings, other meetings, and audits, the savings available with CIS are in the neighborhood, in this instance, of $69,000. Cost savings from prep time around $3,000. So that's quite an amazing savings to have every year. The cost of filling out reports, of course, it's all automated with CIS, so it's almost entirely saved. The $8,300 that it costs us, we save all the $200 of that. Internal reports, again, huge savings, $14,000, $8,000 on external reports. Training, another $3,000, and document control, $10,000. So all told, just shy of $116,000 in savings using CIS.